Ho, 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 ho!
Sorry. Yeah, of course. Come on. I've got disclaimers everywhere. Yeah, it's a work. It's a work day.
Put on a bit of beef, mate.
Two sizes smaller, mate. Huh? No, they've got bread. They're eating the bread. They're eating the bread.
How's that?
I can't hear you.
I'll put it on my nose in a minute. Luke, you're winding me up now.
Can't hear you. Shut up.
How's that? That's as good as it's going to be. You don't like it? There's the ocean.
Open the window.
All right, I hope everyone's having a pleasant afternoon. I am. So, a few beverages under my belt, so excuse my unprepared speech / whatever. I hope most of you got my Christmas memo yesterday, first one in 30 years. So a milestone for me. And there's not a lot else I can add to that, really. So I don't think, the fear not to repeat myself, but I will. A business like Burwell doesn't function without every single person playing their role, and every single one of you in this room plays your role, day in and day out. And without that effort from everybody, we're nothing. If one cog in the wheel fails, the whole system falls apart. So it's fair to say we've had a challenging few years, and this year hasn't been without challenges. But as I said yesterday, we are back in the black, which is good. And if nothing else, it gives us the opportunity to start to reinvest in a business that so desperately needs reinvesting in. And I don't want to get into. It's very hard not to mention some people, and then without mentioning everybody, because as I said yesterday, everyone plays a part. But I guess for my team, William, just unrelentingly supporting his maturity for his age and his years, sits at the senior leadership team, is a calming, balancing set of ears for even myself often. So Willie, I'll give a rap to Willie. And your dad Jeff, obviously the founder of the business, who's persevering with us, trying to make it work every day. Dad, thank you. And of course to Scott, who sits in the unfortunate position in our business of having to control money, which makes everyone think he's a bastard.
Well, he is. He is.
But I can assure you that Scott absolutely has this business at heart, and whilst at times hard decisions need to be made when it comes to money, and I think Dad was the same with Gary, and I'm the same with Scott, where I find myself going, Scott, I'm sorry, but can we do this? And I know I need Dad. Dodgy clip. Anyway, I have to hold it now. The mini mic. Anyway, so I'm just saying, Scott, thank you. I know how much you care about the business. I know how hard it is at times to sit where you sit. So, I think that's about it for the SLG. The only SLG member gets a mention later on. And of course, there's one missing this year. I won't get into that. That's another part of business that's often not fun. So without further ado, Service Awards this year. 5-year mention, 5 years. Andrea Poley, Sydney of course, and Jabin in our Townsville office. Dre, is that 5 years in total or 5 years since you've come back? That's a bit of a rigging there, isn't it? But what can you say about Dre? He is a methodical, systemised man who absolutely cares, intelligent, and caring about the business, and has recently moved into his new role, and he's moved there for a reason, and I look forward to seeing the success of Dre taking over the manufacturing manager's position. So well done, Dre, congratulations. I can shake your hand. If there's any prizes here for 5 years, from what I can see. I'll get a few fix that up. Another 10 years for Paul Waters in our Newcastle office, who was invited today but was more committed to selling garnet, he tells us, than he was to coming to the party. Paul has received his service award, and yeah, as I say, he's not here today, but Paul's done a great job in Newcastle, who's close to one of our best branches, surprisingly. So well done, Paul, in his absence. 15 years, Bob and Joe Ainsley. Oh, I wish they were here, but Bob and Joe are absolute gold. They are another example of what the Burwell branch network's like, where there's no, I can't make it in today, I'm sick, I don't feel well, whatever. They turn up every day. They've got about, I think, I call it the Mackay Zoo. They've got about 40 animals, I kid you not, like birds, goats, horses, dogs, cats, you name it. Joe has some sort of illness for taking in, I think she just took in 5 stray miniature horses or something. So she just, you know, all of that whilst they turn up to Burwell every day and open that branch. And again, like Newcastle, one of our best performing branches with a husband and wife crew, literally on their own. They work hard and punch it out. So in their absence, well done to Bob and Joe. Righto, the big guns. Here we go, the 20. Another life sentence. Oh, what do they say? Less for murder. I'll start with Ria. There's not a lot of words to use to describe Ria and her dedication to this business. She's been with us for 20 years. Started in Sydney with, obviously with Gary, and was Gary's workhorse. And then relocated to Queensland where she hides. But hides where she just sits and just works and just punches through the shit that no one likes doing. And it's fair to say that she was, you know, looking for the right words. She was Gary's backbone, without a doubt. And without Rhea, Gary probably would have struggled. And now that Scott's with us, I'm sure Scott would agree, or would share in those sentiments about Rhea's work ethic and her commitment to the business. And without her, we'd all be in trouble, believe me, because we wouldn't get paid. So, Rhea, I can't thank you enough for your efforts. Your thankless role in the business, never looking for gratitude, not probably getting enough gratitude, and we love you dearly, and I'm so grateful for what you've done for Burwell. Happy 20th anniversary. Someone give me a gift. Do you want the mini mic? The mini mic.
It's a quick one. So I would just like to say thank you for working so well in the team. Really appreciate it, and I've gotten to know many of you during this time, and I've developed many friendships along the way, and it means a lot to me. And you're just all awesome, and a great bunch of people to work with. So many thanks again, and cheers to you many more years to come.
I don't know what's going on with this thing. Anyway, and lucky last, wow, another one that's, for me personally, really hard to, impossible to find the words what this bloke means to me and to Burwell. I employed, I think one of the very good things that Brett Power ever did was introduce me to this bloke. When we were living in Melbourne and I was running our Melbourne office, and I remember the first time I met Simon at an AFL game in Melbourne, and of course me being a Sydney boy, I had no idea about the passion for AFL. So Brett takes me along to this Aussie rules match in Richmond. I remember clearly we're playing Melbourne, Simon's beloved Melbourne. And I'm half cut. I've had about 10 beers before I met Simon on this particular day. And I'm sitting down with him watching the game and he's so serious. And I'm going to Brett, what's wrong with this bloke? What the fuck's going on here? He's so serious. He goes, oh mate, you know, they live and breathe it. So I went off at half time and bought myself a Richmond scarf and put it around my neck, and I think by the end of that night Simon wanted to knife me. And ironically, I don't know how long it was after that particular event that we employed him, or I employed him, and Simon has been an absolute rock for me. He deals with the stuff every day that no one wants to deal with. It's brain damage. I know when I handed over the national sales sort of role, or the managing the branches to Simon, it was just like, my brain's caved in, and he listens to me whinge every day, but thanklessly and selfishly, you know the word, selflessly. Mate, I can't speak enough how much I value your input to this business, and how much I value what you've done, and how much your perseverance every day means to me, and just thank you, buddy, and well done. And, I've got to email you on my phone. I've got to email you your service award because you've been a tricky bastard. Mark has been away, and this morning Simon said, oh, I don't want to watch. I'm like, well, that's what everyone gets. And I got up this morning and it's not right. He said to me, just give me an empty box. I can't do it. So this morning I've been out. I think you already know. I'm going to email it to you. It ended up being a watch. But maybe not the watch you were thinking. So a little birdie told me like that. So there you go. Simo, love you, mate.
Does that work? Yeah. I don't really like being in the spotlight. I think when I started, when Dane was talking about starting at Burwell, I remember that game of footy. I wasn't impressed, but I think we Melbourne won. I can't remember. But so when I started with Damien and Brett in Melbourne, I went there for maybe a month, maybe 3, just to get myself sorted after uni and then work out what I wanted to do. I haven't really worked that out yet, so I'm still doing it. But I think you know that. I've already told you that. So, yeah. But over the time, I've got a real passion, a real love for Burwell. I'm not sure, it's an intangible quality about the company for me that I want to see it succeed, I want to be a part of it. And I think, thinking about it today on the way out, I thought I get to work with genuine people. My customers are genuine, down-to-earth guys. Everyone in this room, I feel like it's like that. I just love my time. And I think we all go through challenges. David said some of the years haven't been that great, but I think I've never been more excited. 20 years of where Burwell was at. I'm excited to see what we can do over the next couple of years, and I think we're well placed to do that. So that's why I'm still here. I love the place, and just to Jeff and to Damien, so I want to say thank you for everything. On and off the field, sometimes you've always got my back. It hasn't always been easy for me. You've always supported me, and I think that family feel to the company is something that I love. And I know that things aren't always going well. That you guys have got my back, and I appreciate that. And I appreciate what you've done for me. So that's it. So thank you. Thank you. And time's up. And check your
Thanks, Simon. Yeah, I think Simon nailed it when he said we are a family business, and that's what makes us, what I hope and what I feel makes us special. And I can assure you that's never going to change while I'm where I am in the business. I know at times it might not feel like that in recent times, but trust me, it's not our agenda to change that culture. For me, I want us to remain a family business. I want that feel. That's what I love about our business. I love days like today where we are a family. And as I said, while I'm where I am, we will always be a family business, and we will always have that family heart and soul. And what Simon said about everyone in this room being real people, absolutely 100%. So to sound like Jeff Fennick, I love yous all. And Merry Christmas and enjoy the rest of the day.
He's done. Oh, come on.
Can everybody hear me? Oh dear. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. It's genuinely lovely to see the Burwell staff all sitting here enjoying themselves again today, having a nice day, having a Christmas day. And for me, today is a day of a lot of remembrance. I think people get to, I'm 78 years of age now, and I've said for the last few years that, you know, you get to a stage in your life where you need to move on and you need to hand over. And I received an email from my son on Wednesday, and Damien said to me, he said, "Dad, you haven't put out your Christmas message this year to all the staff. And how do you feel about, like, are you going to do it?" And I went back to Damien and I said to Damien very quickly, I said, "I think it's time, Damien, for you to do that." So from my point of view, at that stage in my life, that was a handover. That was the time for me to say that it's time for me to step back, and it's time for me to love what I created in 1969, the amount of people that worked for Burwell, the amount of people that have enjoyed, had lives at Burwell, the sincerity and the staff that have worked for us over all those years, and it's been a wonderful ride. I'm getting a little emotional, but it's been a wonderful ride. And would you like that for my tears, eh? I'm still going to be coming in, and I'm still going to be watching my assets. But I'm not going to be doing that as often, and I'm still going to be part of the senior management team. I'm still going to be doing that, and I'm very proud that I'm going to be doing that. But today, and I thought this year was appropriate to do what I've done because my son has spent 30 years with Burwell this year, and that's quite an achievement for somebody that never really wanted to come to Burwell. As a young boy, he used to come in with me when we were in Pilcher Street, Enfield, on a Saturday morning, a Saturday afternoon. He used to sit in the forklift and we used to drive him around, and he used to love doing that. And then we'd go back to Karela where we lived, and as we developed, then Damien, years and years and years ago, I think Damien was about 17, 18, we invested in a hotel in Enmore because Damien was doing diploma hospitality. And so he went for that ride and got tied up with some guys that were, you know, part of the 18, 17-year-old group, and then I'll never forget, I don't know if he'll be embarrassed with me telling you this story, but I received this letter from the RTA, and the car that Damien had at the time was a little Ford Laser that I bought for him. And it was in my name. So I get this letter from the RTA saying, "Dear Mr. Williams, as of next week your licence is suspended." And I thought to myself, what's this all about? Why is my licence suspended? So down to the RTA I go, "Well, you've got $4,200 worth of fines." And you're not making any attempt to pay them. So we're going to take your licence off you. I said, what are you talking about, all these fines? So the lady goes away and comes back and produces all these things where the Sydney Harbour Bridge had been used about 50 times a day, backwards, forwards, they never paid the toll. So, and this was because Damien was lending his or the car to all his mates when he was living in the city. So anyway, I rang him up and I said, "Damien, you need to address this. How are we going to address this?" And he said, "Oh, I'm bugging if I know that. I haven't got any money." I said, "Yeah, but they're about to take my licence off me, mate. Like, for God's sake, we need to do something about it." So anyway, we did a deal. And the deal was that Damien came and worked for Burwell, which he didn't really want to do. And until that debt was paid off, whether you sweep the floor, you go down the store, whatever it is, you move back home. Once the debt's paid off, then you can move on. And you can go back and do what you want to do. But until you pay that debt off, you're here working at Burwell. Well, what am I going to do? Well, you might sweep the floor. You might sweep up after the tradesman. But whatever it is, that's what you'll be doing until the debt's paid off. Well, to his credit, he did that. And 30 years later, here he is now, CEO of Burwell. And I'm very proud of him. Very proud of him. And the other part of the story is that as Damien worked through the ranks of Burwell, he came to me when him and Karen had just got engaged, and he said to me, "Dad, what am I going to do to sort of get my stripes?" And I said, "What you need to do, mate, is you need to go interstate, you need to move out of Sydney, you need to go into a branch, and you need to go to a branch that is broken and prove yourself. You have to put your own runs on the board." And that branch at the time was Victoria. Melbourne was broken. It was a branch that was not performing well for Burwell. And so I said, if you want to move to Melbourne and take that branch over, and that's what Damien did. That's where Simon came on board. That's where Brett Power came on board, who was no longer with us. But, you know, in saying that, that's disappointing that Brett is no longer with us, but we all move on, he's not. But those three guys did a wonderful job in Victoria. Damien got his stripes and then came back to New South Wales and has moved on from there. So, thank you, son. Thank you. Thank you. And we do have a gift for Damien.
He's got two.
I don't know what the little gift is, but yeah. Anyway, to Martha for arranging all that. Thank you, Martha. Thank you. And to everybody here, it has been a ride. As I look around the room here, there are people that have been so loyal to Burwell. I'm not going anywhere, but I am stepping back, and my son is now the CEO. I'm stepping back, and it's a new generation, but I'm sure we're in the right position to move forward. As Damien said, we're in the black. We've got a wonderful support with Damien, with Scott, all the girls, all the management team, and all our wonderful staff. Thank you very much. Have a Merry Christmas.
Do I have to speak again, or am I done? I have to speak again. Okay. Well, yeah, I suppose I do deserve, Dad deserves a response. Thank you, Dad. That was lovely words. I'm not sure I agree with all of it, but we can talk about that later. But it's true. All my life I had no, well, my younger life, I had no intention of coming into Burwell. I remember those times in the school holidays when I would go into Burwell and say, "You're going to run the company one day?" I'd be like, no way, not me, not happening. And I don't know why that was. I guess it's just my two children are the same. You know, my son at the moment, no, Dad, no. Said he'd rather shoot me than put me in an office job, Dad. You know, he's got no interest. But I remember it as being, I think it was close to a state of origin, and Dad's accountant at the time, Warwick, they bailed me up and said, "Listen, mate, you're going down the wrong path. You could earn some money being a sandblaster. You could earn like $3,000 a week being a sandblaster, you know." And I went, "Sounds pretty cool." I'd done a few sandblasting jobs. But they said, "Before you do that, you need to come in here and learn the industry," and that's the end of the story. Here I am 30 years later. So I won't drag on anymore other than to say, again, thank you to Dad for the opportunity, for a father and son that have lived 30 years through a family business. I think we're in fairly good shape, to be honest. You know, I'm sure there's father and son family businesses that are in worse shape than we are in terms of their relationship. And yeah, that's it for me. Thank you. Merry Christmas. Martha, great to see you. I hope you're feeling good. And enjoy the rest of the afternoon.
Definitely.
This song is dedicated to all the teachers that told me I never amount to nothing. To all the people that lived above the building when I was hustling when I told the police on me.
Ho, 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 ho!